For over half a century, Excelsior-Henderson has remained an unyielding spark waiting to be fanned into flame. And from those flames, the wings of the new Excelsior-Henderson are symbolically bringing the legendary Firebird back to life. In 1993, brothers David and Daniel Hanlon fulfilled the dream that they had shared for some time. They set out to rekindle the glory and establish the new Excelsior-Henderson Motorcycle Manufacturing Company. As experienced business executives and motorcycle enthusiasts, they have secured financing and have assembled a team of experts in all aspects of the motorcycle industry to develop innovative, high-quality motorcycles that will pick up and carry on the rich tradition of Excelsior-Henderson.
Excelsior-Henderson truly has that soul. It's a treasure, and we're very proud to reignite that and now carry that torch into the future.
We feel it's extraordinarily important that the consumer, as he's looking at his heavyweight cruiser purchase, that he has an option on picking our Excelsior-Henderson Super X that brings with it a very significant historical perspective.
So when we throw our leg over our product, we're not only throwing our leg over a brand new Excelsior-Henderson Super X, we're throwing our leg over history, American history, 100 years of history that dates back to 1876.
Excelsior was established as a bicycle supply company and introduced its first motorcycle in 1905. The company saw great success through its focus on quality, performance, and racing competition. The company was purchased in 1911 by bicycle manufacturer Ignaz Schwinn. The company added the Henderson brand to the stable in 1917, which further propelled Excelsior-Henderson to the ranks of the Big Three, along with Indian and Harley-Davidson. In 1914, Excelsior-Henderson completed the world's largest motorcycle factory. It was designed and dedicated to the production of top-quality, high-performance machines and included a test track on the roof.
All I know about it is what I've seen, read, and heard, and obviously it was a state-of-the-art factory. To my knowledge, at least within the last 10 years, the building still stood. I believe it still does.
At Excelsior-Henderson, it was believed that unequaled performance was the product of unbending quality standards in the manufacturing process. Skilled craftsmen were nurtured and rewarded in a state-of-the-art working environment. The machines and those who rode them were the stuff of legends. When you cut through to the essence of Excelsior-Henderson, you can begin to understand why the legends have survived. On December 30th, 1912, Lee Humiston rocketed his stock 61-inch X-twin powered Excelsior around a board track oval in exactly 36 seconds to become the first motorcyclist to break the 100-mile-per-hour barrier. Carl Clancy rode into history in 1913 on his four-cylinder Henderson when he became the first motorcyclist to circle the globe.
One of the many nice things that's happened to us in the motorcycle field, in the antique motorcycle field, is we did have the chance to get acquainted with one of the early and very famous racers, Maldwin Jones. But I believe it was in early 1920 that he got, and I'm not sure why or how, he got a hold of one of the new models of the Excelsior. Just no end to his praise for those Excelsior bikes that he ended up with, because they were the fastest and, of course, the most modern, in speaking in 1920 terms, the most modern motorcycle that he had ridden. But he felt that he had something there that would do what he asked it to do. He was great enough to give me the back of his racing jacket, and it did spend a couple of years in the Smithsonian after we had it.
With every motorcycle Excelsior-Henderson produced, there came a healthy wake-up call for the entire motorcycle industry. From the early X-Twin racers, to the long-distance Henderson Deluxe, to the Super X Cruiser, Excelsior-Henderson defined distinct motorcycle categories. Form truly followed function. Excelsior-Henderson quality, reliability, and high performance were second to none.
Anything that you heard about the Excelsior was how fast a motorcycle it had been, and that they still were a few being raced and running hill climbs.
Due to superior performance, durability, and riding comfort, Excelsior-Henderson motorcycles became the first choice of law enforcement organizations.
The Henderson motorcycle was used for police work, and I think a big reason for that was their reliability and their speed, of course.
As one of the big three motorcycle manufacturers, Excelsior-Henderson became a part of the cultural fabric of the times. Here, Jimmy Durante gets a ride to a benefit for the Pasadena City Police Department on a Henderson. When transatlantic flying ace Charles Lindbergh got back down to earth, his choice in ground transportation was a high-performance Excelsior motorcycle. He donated his beloved Big X to his lifelong friend, and it now resides in the Henry Ford Museum. Automobile giant Ford himself couldn't resist owning one motorcycle. It, not surprisingly, was a 1917 Henderson. Excelsior-Henderson launched the modern-day cruiser category way back in 1929 with the Super X. It was long and low. Seat height was just 27 inches off the ground. It had split teardrop fuel tanks with instruments on top. It had full fenders, and the front forks passed through the front fender. The front frame tubes were angled to follow the contour of the fenders. Vibrant colors, including two-tone paint designs, were introduced. And of course, the two-cylinder X-twin engine set the industry on its ear. It's no wonder so many of these breakthrough design elements were adopted by competitive manufacturers. And it's not surprising that they are still familiar elements on the motorcycles being produced today.
Well, it was just exceptional, that's all. I mean, bike is a bike is a bike, but that wasn't just a bike. That was a Super X. And now that's only, we haven't gotten into sizes a lot, but that's a 45 cubic inch engine. But this 45 Excelsior had more pickup, I believe more actual power than the 74 cubic inch Harleys did. And that was one of the trademarks of the Excelsior-Henderson company. They just built a superior piece of equipment.
Excelsior-Henderson continued to dominate the industry with technological innovations and performance records. But with the advent of the Great Depression and the marketing of low-priced automobiles, Excelsior-Henderson walked away from the motorcycle industry.
Of course, this is one of the things that bothers me, that Schwinn saw fit to take the Excelsior out of existence in 1931, because they did have a winning combination. They had an excellent bike. I think it was probably the best on the market at that time. But of course, what excites me today is that I feel it's going to come back.
Excelsior-Henderson is well on its way to coming back stronger than ever. The design prototype for the new Super X takes its cues from the landmark 1929 model. Ultimately, forked tubes that pass through the front fender, split teardrop fuel tanks, a leading link front end, and a revolutionary X-twin engine will once again fire up competition within the industry.
But we also had some very distinctive styling characteristics that we could implant into our new motorcycle. We've been asked many, many times, are you building an old motorcycle? No, good gracious, we're building a brand new motorcycle. And that brand new motorcycle will look like a distant relative to the original Super X.
Excelsior-Henderson is going to be very exclusive, very unique. It's got a tremendous motor in it. The design-wise, I looked at the design on the motors and they were fantastic.
Our new Super X will once again make the rules. The new engine is the most advanced American-made motorcycle engine in the market today. It is of X-twin configuration, 1,386 cc's, air and oil-cooled, fuel-injected, dual overhead cam, with 4 valves per cylinder. It will also have a revolutionary leading link front suspension and out-and-out heart-stopping styling, the kind that made the original Super X a legend. In the spirit of those early pioneers, Today's Excelsior-Henderson engineering team is bringing innovative computer technologies and unique expertise to the task of raising the standards for high-performance cruising motorcycles. The current corporate headquarters and design center of Excelsior-Henderson is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The company is evaluating a number of Midwest locations for its manufacturing facility.
The excitement is just feeding on itself, and it's generating itself. And when I saw the motor, and I saw the plans of the motor, I saw the plans of the motorcycle, I just don't see where they're going to miss as long as they stay to their plan.
But before any motorcycle engineering and design was undertaken, a comprehensive business plan was developed. That business plan covered financial milestones, distribution channels, target audiences, and market potential.
And by achieving between 1% and 5% market share in just the super heavyweight cruiser category, we'll be a $250 million company.
I believe the Excelsior-Henderson is going to take the majority of their people basically from the ranks of Harley-Davidson. Not that they're taking them away from something, because most of the time we can't get them anything.
Presently, Harley-Davidson is a $1.5 billion company. Their motorcycle sales represent in excess of $1 billion. There's a backlog in excess of 1.5 years and approaching 2 years for the weight of an American motorcycle, which equates to $1.5 billion. Well, that's a backlog, frankly, that we'll be able to participate in also.
The average customer, they want exclusivity. Even though Harley builds 100,000 of them a year, they still want exclusivity.
The motorcycle is not the tattooed, long-haired individual that is depicted in Hollywood, but rather the motorcyclist of today is typically a 42-year-old plus male individual that has household income of $65,000 plus and is a very well-established and solid individual. We will aggressively go after dealers that we determine to be the best in their specific markets and handpick them to become Excelsior-Henderson dealers.
The motorcycle manufacturers that are alive today had good, strong dealer organizations.
Where we have invited in dealers literally from around the world to assist our company not only on strategic planning that involves, yes, the styling of the actual motorcycle and the presentation of it to the consumers.
As testament to the wide-ranging interest and enthusiasm in the new Excelsior-Henderson motorcycles, numerous articles and feature stories have appeared in magazines and newspapers around the world.
Small article in city pages, and I get 50, 60, 70 phone calls from people I know, not only in the industry, but people I don't know, wanting to know if I have a waiting list.
The founders of the new Excelsior-Henderson, Dave and Dan Hanlon, have vowed to fan the Excelsior-Henderson flame that has miraculously remained glowing for the past 60 years. With solid management expertise, breakthrough motorcycle design, an established dealer network, and tremendous consumer demand, the future does indeed look bright.